Hi guys, I recently posted two questions through my Instagram story. So the first question, if you are given a squared plus b squared equals to 9 and a plus b equals to 1, what is the value of a to the power of 4 plus b to the power of 4? Either 94 or 49 or negative 49 or negative 94. And the second question was, find the value of a and of b. So, in short, to answer those two questions, I'm gonna answer the first question. I'm gonna answer the second question first using substitution method. So we are given these two equations, and the easier one is we modify the second equation here. If I have a plus b equals to 1, I'm gonna subtract both sides by b. So a plus b minus b equals to 1 minus b. Since we know b minus b will be 0, so a plus 0 will be a. And for the right hand side, we have 1 minus b. So this new equation will be substituted to the first equation. So we're going to replace the value of a. Substitute the new equation to the given equation a squared plus b squared equals to 9. Okay, the a now has changed into 1 minus b. So 1 minus b squared means 1 minus b times 1 minus b itself. And we still have plus b squared equals to 9. And let's expand this. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times negative b is negative b. Negative b times 1 is negative b. And negative b times negative b is b squared. Don't forget, we still have b squared equals to 9 here. Now I'm going to simplify this equation. So 1 still remain as 1. And then we have, let me change. This one. Minus b minus b. It becomes minus 2b. Well, let me repeat. Still have minus 2b. And then we have b squared plus b squared equals to 2b squared. And equals to 9 equals to 9. Now I'm gonna subtract both sides by 9. So the left hand side will be 1 minus 9 equals to negative 8. And we still have minus 2b plus 2b squared over here. And in the right hand side, we have 9 minus 9 equals to 0. Now look, all of them are even numbers. Negative 8, negative 2, 2. Or at least 8, 2, and 2. We can divide both sides by 2. So negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So commonly we don't write number 1 here, yeah. So 1 is invisible. Oops. Okay. So I'm just gonna rearrange this quadratic equation. So the b squared will be in the front, and then negative b still in the middle, and negative 4 at the back equals to 0. And in general quadratic equation, we have 4b squared plus qb plus r equals to 0. Well, yeah, I know this is not common because actually commonly it's written ax squared plus bx plus c. But since our equations here using a and b, so to make it not confusing, I replace the equations becomes p, q, and r. So let's see. The value of p will be 1. So p equals to 1. And then, sorry, q equals to negative 1. Since we have negative 1b, so the q is negative 1. And the r is negative 4. R equals to negative 4. And like it or not, for solving quadratic equation using formula, you have to remember the formula, or at least you have to understand how this formula works. And since we have negative q, and the q itself is negative 1, so we have negative of negative 1 plus minus square root of q squared. Since the q is negative 1, so it's negative 1 squared minus 4 pr. The p is 1 here, and the r is negative 4 here. All over 2p. So 2 times 1, since the value of p is 1. Okay, let's just simplify this equation. Negative of negative 1 is 1. Plus minus negative 1 squared is 1. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times negative 4 becomes positive 16. So we have 1 plus minus square root of 17 all over 2. So this is how the plus minus symbol works. We can split them, becomes 1 plus square root of 17 all over 2 and 1 minus square root of 17 all over 2. So there are two answers of B. This is the first one and this is the second one. Let's substitute back to the value of B. Let's substitute back the value of B to the equation A equals to 1 minus B. Where does this guy come from? Yes, you're right, it's up here. A equals to 1 minus B. Since we already found the value of B, we can find the value of A. Here you go. If B equals to 1 plus square root of 17 over 2, then A is just 1 minus this guy. And since it's fraction, so I can split this with the same denominator, which is 2. So this is actually half plus square root of 17 over 2. But still, the brackets exist. And I need to remove the brackets, so I have to be careful. Negative times half is negative half. Negative of positive square root of 17 over 2 will be negative square root of 17 over 2. And where did this guy come from, 2 over 2? Well, actually, I have 1 here, and I just change 1 to the power of, I change 1 to 2 over 2. Since all of these three fractions have the same denominator 2, so I'm just going to combine the numerators. 2 minus 1 minus square root of 17. We can simplify the left one. 2 minus 1 equals to 1. So finally, we can find the answer of A is 1 minus square root of 17 over 2. Yeah. So if our B is 1 plus square root of 17 all over 2, the value of A will be 1 minus square root of 17 all over 2. Well, what if we choose the second B, which is 1 minus square root of 17 all over 2? Using the same technique, we're going to find the answer like this. And the A will be 1 plus square root of 17 over 2, using the same technique. So the conclusion is either if the A is 1 minus square root of 17 all over 2, the B will be 1 plus square root of 17 all over 2. And vice versa, if the A is 1 plus square root of 17 over 2, the B will be 1 minus square root of 17 all over 2. So which answer is the correct one? Both answers are correct. So if you answer like this, that will be fine. If your answer will be like this, if your friends answers this one, this also will correct. So don't worry. Alright? So hopefully this video helps you to understand the question. And we're going to see you in another video to answering the A to the power of 4 plus B to the power of 4. See you!